What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss the embarrassing, embarrassing partnership of the ANC and the DA in the GNU, and the most unbelievable act to date from the ANC in the government of national unity. Something nobody saw coming, because for years the ANC government has always done what they wanted to do with no repercussions whatsoever. But for the first time, the DA has forced the ANC's hand into doing something they never thought they would do. And that is the firing of an ANC cabinet minister. Damn! This is a huge one. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, do you know when you are voted into power by an overwhelming majority, you feel this sense of invincibility, that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, and you still have the backing of your constituents. The problem with that is power is a drug. Power is so hallucinating. Power is so people get power is so intoxicating. You see, power is addictive, and then power makes you see things from a different perspective. So for 30 years, the ANC has ruled South Africa with total impunity, right? Impunity, total impunity. For the most part, they have done shady things and questionable things in broad daylight, and nothing has come of their crimes. Nothing, totally nothing, you know? Guys, the 2024 election was a blessing in disguise, because for the first time in 30 years, the ANC were forced to humble themselves and to beg, scrounge, look around for partners to assist them in their quest to retain power. And as we all know, they managed to find suitable candidates to help them in their quest to retain power. And one such candidate was the DA. And that proved to be, a tricky partnership. But in the ANC's eyes, it had to be the DA, because they can't see themselves with the EFF, and they can't see themselves with the MK party either. Okay, cool. Now that we know that, right? That's obvious stuff. The ANC is now realizing that the DA is almost like, yeah, a hard nut to crack, because they are polar opposites. Polar opposites, right? But now here's the thing that I like, right? So for the first time, the ANC is now being held to account by people with power. And that is a beautiful thing to see. Now, as much as I detest the DA's racist policies towards colored people in the Western Cape and to the black people in the Western Cape, I have to give the DA credit where credit is due, right? And Nobukle Kabinde, right? That's the name, the minister of higher education, right? The arrogant, bubblegum chewing. She thought she was untouchable because she belonged to the ANC. Now, that was true. It's always been true. I mean, I don't know how long she's been a member there. She's even uh, went to a meeting where she was just chewing gum and being disrespectful to the judge. And in a court, she was telling him to Google whatever this means and that. It's just being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? And there's a court hearing that she was at. And it's shocking that a minister would behave in that manner. And the worst thing is that this minister would skip court hearings and skip crucial meetings, and she'd just give frivolous excuses. And that's weird because of the amount of power her party has. Or so she thought, right? Now, for a long time, the DA has been saying, if you don't fire these two people, we will not sign that budget that you so want us to sign into law, into power, so that the departments can get paid, so the country can move forward. So the ANC, they were clever, right? They were very clever. There's two people that the DA want the ANC to get rid of and fire, right? So I think the first person was Simelani. I think that's the name. Surname is Simelani, if I'm not mistaken. And then the ANC moved that person to human settlements, if I'm not mistaken. That's where the person is now. I think Simelani is the person's name. Surname Simelani, something Simelani. And then the DA said, or the DA is saying, that when it comes to voting the budget for human settlements, they're not going to vote there because they want that person gone too. So I never ever thought that the ANC was going to capitulate in firing their own, because for the longest of time, the ANC has gotten away with anything and everything. I mean, the arms deal was plain open and shut case. The corruption was plain. It was in the open for everyone to see. And no big heads rolled. I mean, there might have been smaller fish that took the fall, but in the broader scheme of things, Zuma never saw anything. He never saw inside of a prison cell because of that. I don't think so. Do you? No. The Zondo Commission came and went. No major heads rolled because the ANC was rolling it, right? Then the DA. Ah, man. The next presidential candidate party, the DA. This time in 2026 and 2029, I think we should vote DA. I think everybody should vote DA. Now, why am I saying that? You see, the DA, like any other political party, is corrupt. They also have their own nepotisms and their own isms and their own this and their own that. And it is also rumored and alleged that they are bedfellows with underworld figures. My thing is, we just want change. 30 years of the same thing, nah, not anymore. So, I'm going off topic here, but yeah, time for change to come. So, here's the thing. Nobukle Nkabinde got fired. That was an unprecedented move. No one saw that coming. I mean, the DA put so much pressure on the ANC that Kambinde and Similani need to go. And the ANC were like, we're not having that. No, they're not going. They tried to I don't know, shuffle people around and try to keep up with it. And the DA will not have it because anywhere they move it to, they're not going to vote the budget in that department. Anywhere they move Similani to, they're not going to vote. Now the ANC is stuck. So the ANC had no choice but to fire and Kabende. Good move. Good for you, DA. You got something right for the first time in 30 years. Well, at least you managed, right? At least that's like a stamp of approval, you know? You've got other things right for sure, for sure, for sure. Even like the tax thing, you know? That was another good move. That's like two things in 30 years, right? People, here's the thing, right? For the first time, the ANC has been held accountable for someone who was arrogant, someone who was just seen as an individual who was causing, I don't know, just misconduct and just outright just putting the party in disrepute. And this person just needed to go. And it took the DA to force the ANC's hand to actually let her go. I mean, why would you hold on to an incompetent person? Look, I'm not saying she was terrible at her job. I don't know what a job card looks like. I don't know what a job report looks like. But higher education, dude, I don't know if there's an improvement there. I don't think so. Her attitude didn't help anything either. Why would the ANC even employ someone at that level? I mean, it just begs the question. Be arrogant, be annoying, I don't know, but just do an outstanding, stellar job at your work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't be arrogant and annoying and incompetent and stupid all in one. I mean, now that is just not acceptable at all. Now we left with Similani and we left with what? Nkunu, Nkunu, the police minister. The ANC cannot be seen as giving in to the demands of the DA every time the DA says, we need that person gone, or else we won't participate, or we won't vote in favor of this and that. Because at the end of the day, the ANC are going to have no more members left if that's the way they, they're going to continue doing business with the DA. Because if the DA has its way, the bulk of the ANC members must go. And to be honest, I agree. They gotta go. In fact, the president himself gotta go. He too must leave. But before he leaves, he must account for the billions of or the millions of dollars that are found in his house. That too, the DA should put on the table and say, we're not voting any bill into law, or we're not voting any budget into law. We're not voting for any budget unless you vacate that position, or unless you come out openly and cleanly about the millions that are found unaccounted for that were channeled to your house outside of normal banking channels. I think it's great to see the DA doing something great for a change at the highest level. And I think the ANC is now regretting why they brought the DA on board. As it stands, there are now divisions within the ANC, those that are for the DA staying and those that are against the DA staying. Yeah, I think the ANC is now beginning to realize that they should have just rather gone with the EFF, because the EFF, I can tell you now for free, and I can tell you for a fact, I'm not saying the DA is not corruptible. I mean, there's alleged stories and rumors that the DA has been compromised and members of the DA have been compromised, you know. But I can tell you for a fact that if it comes down to corrupt individuals, and history has shown, and it's not anything, it's all out in the open. I mean, we all know that people of color are not everyone, mind you, but it's proven that people of color are easily bribable, easily corruptible, easily corrupted. The DA has its massive financial backing support base, right? So to bribe DA members, per se, like especially the top tier members, I don't think that'll work because they have sound financial backers, you know. So if they need money, they just go to their funders. I mean, just that simple, right? The other black parties have funders too. Don't get me wrong.